And we are live. Welcome to CRT Gaming Podcast, episode number 11, Streets of Rage 2. Before we get started, I'd like to take a quick second to welcome our new subscribers and say thank you for the nice, kind comments you posted. We really appreciate it here. But if there's something you like or don't like, just let us know down below. We'd love to hear some feedback. That being said, my good friends Gohan and Dazpick are here tonight. Mr. Gohan, kind sir, how are you doing?
Doing well. Ready to talk about Streets of Rage 2.
There is so much to talk about in Wood Oak City.
Wood Oak City needs its hero.
It most definitely does. And Dazpick, you chose this game for us tonight. It's Sega's 60th birthday, and you narrowed it down to Streets of Rage 2. Why, out of all the games, did you choose this one?
Well, one, the blisteringly awesome soundtrack that thumped along with the ass beating of plenty of Mr. X's cronies. And after playing the original when it first came out, and when the original came out, I think everybody was kind of chasing after the magic that was Final Fight that didn't exist on a home console at the time. And Final Fight was really good, but there wasn't anything that compared to it. And then Sega came out with Streets of Rage, and it was like, well, it wasn't Final Fight, but it was pretty awesome. The music was really killer. The fighting was, pretty basic, but you had the super moves, and that would clear the screen of enemies, and then you just beat the hell out of everybody else, and that was great. But man, when Streets of Rage 2 hit, it beat the living shit out of every other console beat 'em up that existed at the time. The music was undeniably incredible. But the all of a sudden there's combo moves, there's different attacks you could do aside from just mashing the punch button the whole time. And then the super move that cleared the screen wasn't a super move anymore. It was a special move that you could add to combos that made the game almost play like a mini Street Fighter, but in a beat 'em up. And man, that blew my mind.
There were just some key titles that came out shortly after the first wave of Genesis games kind of hit the market. It was really important, for Sega to feed their audience, and they had, a lot of good arcade stuff. They were on the map, for the first time, and Streets of Rage was definitely one of those important second wave games that just kind of kept their audience. They could have lost it immediately, but I think Streets of Rage 1 was one of those games that kind of came out of nowhere and just made, the Sega Genesis, a new contender in the console market.
Yeah, it was definitely, I'd definitely say when 2 came out, it was probably, I'd have to really research this, but going by memory, I would say it was the first time a home game actually outshined anything you go in the arcade and play.
Hands down, man.
Because the arcade, some of them, better graphics did exist, in the arcade, but as far as teaming up with a friend and going through, a side-scrolling beat 'em up. This was just like the evolution of the side-scroller beat 'em up is what this was.
The street justice genre.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of street justice in the late 80s and early 90s.
Oh, it definitely was. There's untold amount of beat 'em up games.
Yeah, I mean, with the Genesis coming out, what I really wanted was a real version of Double Dragon. Like, Double Dragon was a huge game. It was, the fighting beat 'em up genre was probably my favorite genre at the time, and after having to live with the NES Double Dragon games, I wanted a port that would finally bring the arcade game home. And while that didn't happen, lo and behold, my dreams never came true, although Europe's dreams came true because they got a okayish port of Double Dragon Arcade with the terrible sounding Genesis music. I think when people shit talk the Genesis and how bad its music is, they're probably referencing the Double Dragon port. But
they're not talking about Streets of Rage.
No. I mean, because being a limited means teenager, Streets of Rage was not in my library. But that was okay to me because in my mind, Streets of Rage was like a Sega rehash of Double Dragon. But I was so wrong about how I viewed the game.
Yeah, it was actually, what's kind of interesting is the game Streets of Rage 2, which I liked its Japanese name a little better. It's called Bare Knuckle 2, The Requiem of the Deadly Battle. You have my attention
awesome.
Already. But it ended up being... That is a name. I mean, that stands out. I would pick it up and look at the back of the box. Like, what the hell is this?
Requiem? What?
Deadly Battle.
That's serious shit.
Yeah, but it was developed by Sega, but they kind of did it, the sequel in a rush, so they kind of outsourced it. So they had a lot of other development studios working with them on this, and one of them was called Ancient, and that's where Koshiro, the music designer, basically, that was his company and his sister's company.
Got him, man.
Well, this is what you mentioned before. It was it kind of reminds you of Street Fighter in a little bit. They actually, him and his sister actually loved Street Fighter, and they had a Street Fighter 2 machine in their office, and it was a big inspiration for how this game played. Even
That's
though
a sign of a good developer. All good developers should have a Street Fighter machine in their office.
It should be. But yeah, I do think that is one thing that Capcom over the years has totally, for the life of me, have never done. I do not understand why there is not a side-scrolling Street Fighter beat 'em up. I just do not understand how that has never happened.
I mean, isn't that what Final Fight was kind of supposed to be? Like, initially, wasn't there... They were trying to, merge that, experience with, what had kind of come before a little bit.
I don't know. I know they always try to bring the, like in the Alpha series, they brought the, Final Fight characters to Street Fighter, but it never went the other way. The closest ever went the other way was the two-player Bison fight in Alpha 1. You could
that was so good.
And that would be just completely amazing if the whole game was that. But that never happened. But this is as close as we got. This is pretty good still.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good characters. So what characters you guys play through the game with? Did you use Axel Stone?
Axel, baby. I will say, in the first game, it was all about Adam. But then he was the...
Dude, he's kidnapped in this one.
Yeah, he's kidnapped in this one.
You gotta go save his ass.
Save his ass, and they skipped him in 3, replaced him with an old robot dude. But
yeah, I have questions about that. We'll get to that when we do the Streets of Rage 3 episode.
Yeah, I played Axel all the time, man. It was he had a dragon punch at the end of his combo, man. He was as close to Ken as I could get.
Yeah, I think Axel was my main character. I started messing with Max Thunder, a little bit.
Beefcake.
Early today, actually. You can actually, he's actually pretty cool. I never played with him when this originally came out. It was just Axel. You know, it's the Axel game to me. But
yeah, my buddy Brian played him all the time whenever we played together. He loved him.
He's like surprisingly kind of fleet. You know, he has all these kind of awesome wrestling moves where he's kind of like lariating guys and stuff. So he actually gets around the screen a lot faster than you kind of think he would. But I lucked out. You know, when the Sega CD came out, it came with this anthology disc packed in, and because things were super lean at the launch with the Sega CD, me and my friend Rick played the living shit out of everything that we could get our hands on. And as Daz said, you know, the music was just awesome, you know. Streets of Rage and ActRaiser were the first times that I noticed the name, you know, Yuzo Koshiro, and nothing sounded as cool as Streets of Rage. Even just like the sound design of hitting dudes and smashing things and all that stuff. I mean, you know,
the sweet thunk of braining somebody with a lead pipe.
Oh yeah, the crowbar. Just,
oh my god, it's so
just
good.
Awesome.
Just
perfect,
you know, perfect.
We were playing it. We were playing it on the Sega CD, so we actually thought that it was playing CD audio, but that's just how good it sounded. And if you play this game soon, you know, folks listening, like, do yourself a favor and just play it with headphones on, and you'll just get so much cool two-channel stereo effects. You know, whether it's the sound effects or the music, and it definitely kind of stands head and shoulders above anything else on that system. Genesis gets a lot of, you know, bad rap for sound design and music, but this game was just, it set kind of a new standard. It
was proof that it could do some good shit.
I mean, totally.
The soundtrack,
I mean, people kind of consider the game one of the great sequels in gaming, next to like Street Fighter 2, you know, and if you talk to people who like Streets of Rage, definitely Streets of Rage 2 was the preferred version for the hardcore gamers, you know, the fans of the series.
Oh yeah, it's definitely on a lot of published, you know, magazines and stuff, like their top 100 games of all time. So I mean, you know,
it deserves it.
Oh yeah, it is great. It's a blast to play with two people.
Oh hell yeah! You don't have somebody, you know, kicking you off the platforms every 2 seconds or anything like that. Like another game we played recently.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was one of the things that just made it so much better than to talk about Double Dragon again. Like, when you were playing Streets of Rage 1 and 2 and you were attacking guys or they were attacking you, like, you really, you know, that felt very fair. It felt very fair. And, you know, with Double Dragon, like, you always felt like there was like this semi-punishing margin of error just due to the quarter munching aspect of the game, you know, whereas this game, like, it definitely rewarded skill.
Yeah, it definitely had like the levels were kind of spread out where you kind of knew like you were into something, like this is a fight, you're fighting for your life. But if you can make it through this fight and not die, that there's food waiting for you.
There's a turkey leg coming.
There's a turkey. You just got to get to that turkey.
That turkey leg.
That is right. Yeah.
It'll be in that trash can just waiting.
Where all turkey legs should be.
Yeah. It'll be a turkey or an apple that I always
rotten
like
apple.
It made the kind of like the same noise Pac-Man would make when he would eat fruit.
I mean, that's just what's so cool about the, you know, the audio design is it has these very video gamey sounds, which are pretty satisfying, you know.
Almost as good as the sweet thumping bass.
But yeah, I mean, the original Streets of Rage designer Oba moved off this project. You know, he worked on the Shinobi games, and he later kind of worked on Clockwork Knight, and that to me was just you know, it's just so amazing how another team came in and just took the reins and just improved the first game so much, you know. Yeah, like the controls, awesome. I mean, the double tap, you know, kind of special moves.
Yes.
There's just, you know, so much, you know, that improved upon the first game. And after Golden Axe came out, this was the co-op game for main Sega fans. You know, this was definitely the king of couch co-op.
I mean, you had so much room to sort of run around in it, not run, but to move around in the area that you weren't smacking the hell out of the other player. I mean, it's not like that one platform on Golden Axe where there's barely enough room for one person and you're trying to fight 3 people and not kick the other player off of there.
Yeah, it's a delicate
Somebody's
balance.
going down.
There's a trust game being played there with your co-op partner.
Yeah, I failed that. But in Streets of Rage 2, you had plenty of room to move around. It seemed like every level there wasn't any real narrow places to get caught in, and there were so many enemies on screen that you were beating the hell out of, and I mean there were some annoying ones. But the fact that you could drop in with with Axel, you could do the knee drop and then go into like a punch kick combo and then go into his special move after that. And man, all that shit was just tons and tons of fun.
Well, I really enjoyed it. Gave you the ability to hit someone that was coming up from behind you. You know.
Oh yes.
So satisfying.
Oh, it's so satisfying. Like, no, you don't. And then you get back to punching the guy that's in front of you.
Yes. Double tap backhand. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, Daz, you know, there's like this fighting game quality to it at the high difficulty levels, and I don't know, the kind of like Ninja Warriors, I always wanted to kind of see a real deal Streets of Rage fighting game, just because they're like right on the precipice of making, you know, a fighting game as it is. What would it be like if they made something that was, you know, fighting genre specifically?
Yeah, if the duel had a block.
That would have been a game
versus
changer.
mode.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. But you know, obviously you get behind. That wasn't part of the game. But if it had that, man, that shit would have been awesome. Because the regular game mechanics were pretty damn fun. And if they had incorporated some kind of block mechanic, it would have been really cool. But again, I'm not like crying over spilled milk or anything. The whole game was fucking awesome. And I don't know exactly how many hours I put into it, but it was a shitload.
I'm just now learning this, but you know, like Alex, you know, has a super. Well, it's not a super move; it's one of his special moves, and he says something kind of unintelligible. Do you guys ever have any idea what he was actually saying?
Oh hell no!
I thought it was bare knuckle. That's what I always thought it was.
Drag the paw is what I thought he said.
Is it like rise upper? Like, is that what he's saying?
No, he's actually saying grand upper, or according to the interwebs, he says grand upper. But I hear like get the pump. That's what I hear, or like, you know, bare knuckle. I don't even rent a car. I don't know what he's saying.
I was her drag the
speaking
paw.
very passionately about it. There's no doubt about that.
Serious business. It's serious business. Somebody's getting hurt at the end of that. Whatever he's saying.
I was playing with Alex and Blaze, and one of the things that I really appreciated about this game was.
You mean Axel?
Yes, sorry. I was playing with Axel. Yeah, Axel and Blaze, and the.
Alex is dead. He died in Golden Axe.
Yeah, sorry, Alex.
He's in jail now, though. Mr. X has got him.
Oh, man. But one of the things that I really appreciate about it was, you know, in Golden Axe, right, you know, your continues meant a lot, and same thing in this game, you know, when you're playing at the high difficulty levels. And I really thought it was
normal.
Cool. Yeah. Well, it is, you have to keep your head on a swivel in this game, and that's what I really liked about it, you know. But the other characters were, you know, you could between continues you could switch characters, which was always fun to play in the original Genesis game, right? Was like being able to play all the characters in one playthrough if you wanted to. Like back then, that was kind of a new feature. It would be a commonplace thing in games today, but back then it was kind of cool to be able to swap, other characters on the fly. So,
well, like there's all kinds of enemies in this game. You guys have any ones in particular that just had your number?
Fucking ninjas. They're dicks. Dude, they were dicks.
No, it was, dude, the wall that I hit was Bald Bull.
I know who you're talking about.
When I got to Bald Bull, his lights out.
Yeah, he's the boxer that looks like Wario dressed like Luigi. He's got a dragon punch.
Yes.
Dude, he's the most versatile fighter in Oakwood City.
He has light on his feet for a big man. I mean, he'll tiptoe right over to you.
Dude, there's a stopping point with him and with Robo Blanca. Robo Blanca was another
Robo Blanca was a son of a bitch. Oh my god, that little shit dragon punch that he does.
You have to use the rising upper, to hit those guys. Like if you try to just go toe to toe with them, like you're on borrowed time.
But you know what? Sometimes you don't need a special move. Sometimes you just need a sweet, straight up vertical jump kick, and that shit will knock some people into the air and save your ass a ton. A little jetpack son of a bitch.
That was the guy. These are people I hate. I hate Flying Guy. I hate Blanca Vega Man. And Wario Boxer. That's the guys I hate.
Joe Higashi, he's a chump.
Yeah, he just blocks.
He just blocks. He's just annoying.
Yeah,
that
dude, Joe made an appearance in this game.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't doing anything in Fatal Fury.
No, he didn't go on to much after that. He was always just someone no one picked in the King of Fighters.
No one picked.
Wait till we do our Art of Fighting episode. Billy Kane.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Bald Bull was the wall. It was the end boss. I think that was just one of the things like with this game was when you got to a boss, they were always trying to mix it up between the crazy Ultimate Warrior wrestling guy to the kind of distinct martial art bodyguard, at the end of the game, and then of course.
Shiva.
Oh man, like that. There's some hard fought, battles that take place, towards the end of this game, and it comes in the form of the bosses.
Is there anything? Like I said, I haven't played this game in God knows how long. I really don't want to think about how long. That's how long ago it was. The level 3, like they're like at an amusement park. Mm-hmm. And you then go into like an alien funhouse or something.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I have no memory of that at all. It was like I was playing some weird, surreal Mandela game. Like when I was playing it, I was like, "What the hell am I playing?"
I'm going inside of this like nightmare cave.
Yeah, what is going on here in Wood Oak City? Yeah.
Why are there aliens here?
Yeah.
And there was no denying they were freaking Alien X. I mean, they had the little xenomorph heads.
Oh, they were in there.
I mean, yeah, that was great.
Oh yeah, the same legal team that made all the, Shinobi bosses happen. We're totally fine with using the Ultimate Warrior's likeness and 20th Century Fox IP.
Definitely, copyright's loose.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time, between Bare Knuckle, Streets of Rage 3, and have Daz Jones, have you played Streets of Rage 4, the new one that came out recently?
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, I did not beat it, but I did purchase it, and I have played it a little bit. It is very nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, like a compliment from the future back to this game. Kind of what it is.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, if you're a retro fan at all, holy shit, Streets of Rage 4
Yes.
is amazing. And after playing it, whoever this team is that made Streets of Rage 4, Sega needs to give them the Golden Axe license next. Like they
real.
Seriously, like, and for that matter, if Capcom, if someone at Capcom's listening, give them Street Fighter 4 next. Like, they are doing some really awesome stuff.
Yeah, that game was amazing. It was so good. And having all the pixelated versions of the characters from the old games as unlockables was really cool. Man, it's phenomenal. But yeah, I love this game.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Where'd the robot come from? Like the mace wielding robot? Like he just like shows
One
up.
that thunks you in the head. Thunk.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that was kind of out of the blue, wasn't it?
is that when you're out of ideas?
You know,
Yeah.
we're playing Street Justice. I get, you know, we're kicking gang members' asses, and then out of the blue, you're fighting some,
it was probably
torture robot.
it was probably one of the guys working on Cyborg Justice. So they were like, "Hey, what do you got? What's on your drawing board there? Here, give me that. I'm gonna put it in this game first."
His name's Chuck.
They say we need a new bad guy.
Yep. give me all your designs for Cyborg Justice. Let's drop him in here for a minute, so Axel can beat his ass.
So, you're in, Wood Oak City, delivering your street justice, trying to free Alex from the hands of Mr. X.
Adam.
Oh yeah, yep.
It is Adam. Yeah, you got me screwed up from earlier.
Golden Axe Alex, man. He's popping
Adam
up
Hunter.
everywhere.
Rest in peace,
Adam
homie.
Hunter, I'm so sorry. But your younger brother Eddie's worried, and he's joined with Max Thunder, Blaze Fielding, and Alex Stone, and they're trying to get you. So you played through this game, and you get to the end, and you fight Mr. X, and up to this point, you've had knives, swords, pipes. This dude's got a machine gun. How'd that go for you?
Not too bad.
I just had flashbacks of fighting Willy in Double Dragon.
Yeah. I mean, I took a few in the shoulder, but I ultimately kicked him in the
It's
ass.
just a light peppering of bullets.
Oh yeah, I wish I had actually had this recorded, but I failed, and I did not when I beat the game. But he literally killed all the bad guys. Like, he made it so easy for me, because when he's shooting, it hits them, and just I was in the in the center of the screen, to the left or the right, it's kind of like a little dead zone where you don't get hit, and he just literally killed everybody, and then I just had to beat him. It worked out really good for me.
He was just punishing his henchmen. It's like this very, kind of James Bond, dispensing with the incompetence.
Yeah, they gotta go. Fail me for the last time.
Yeah, this game just kept mixing things up. It definitely is a video game, which is what I really like about Sega stuff. During this time period, whether it was going through the H.R. Giger cave to the robot assembly line question mark level to fighting on the battleship, they definitely kept things moving. They provided a lot of completely no exposition needed transitions between cool environments, that definitely were interesting to back then.
The elevator ride from hell.
The elevator ride from hell.
That is torture.
Dude, serious business.
Yeah, here.
Serious business.
My clip notes say level 8 elevator, just kill me. That's the type. It was rough. Oh.
Hey, Gohan, the night that I played it, when the first night that I played it, you were watching, I got past that, right?
I think you made it, just past that. Yeah, and that is another one of those just punishing sections of the game, even on normal difficulty. Like it is like the survivor game, because they just keep, forcing more bad guys down on you. And like I was impressed that you made it that far on your first go.
Yeah, that was, I thought I did. Yeah, that was just, man, that was rough. I just remember that later. God almighty. Anyway, sorry to cut you off, Jones. Go ahead.
Oh, no. It was just, it was good going back and playing this. Like I said, it's I asked you why you chose it, and you said it's a great game, and, you're not the only one that thinks so. Like back in the day, like GamePro gave this a 5 out of 5.
Damn right.
Yeah, Die Hard Game Fan gave it a score of a 97. And the Retro Gamer magazine in 2004 rated it as the 64th best retro game of all time. So, I mean, it is not a, out of everything you could have picked, you picked a good one. It's a good game.
I mean, we had to do Streets of Rage, man. Had to. It's
no way around it.
Nah, man. Couldn't skip this on the anniversary, baby.
Excellent. Well, I guess speaking of anniversaries, I guess there's one game left to be chosen in this little Sega tribute we're doing. And Mr. Gohan, I believe that choice is yours. Have you been giving this thought over the week?
Yeah, with Sega, it's been 60 years of making arcade and awesome, console entertainment, and trying to, when Jones sent out the list of, games that we could kind of pick from that met the criteria, it was just too many options, were on the table, and it took a long time.
Embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you look back and, really in today's games, Sega definitely has a, place in the market, but what they were doing at this time was, it really kind of forced things along, in a positive direction. There are a lot of new games, a lot of new IPs that came out, and when I was trying to look at this list of games to choose from, there are definitely a lot of honorable mentions. I was really considering doing Sonic CD because I never got to play that game back in the day, and there are definitely a few other kind of personal favorites, but every single time that I kind of go back and think about this system, I just so strongly associate Revenge of Shinobi with this hardware, and it's another one of those incredibly difficult but rewarding games. Once again, it rewards skill. It rewards understanding the game, and it's like Streets of Rage. When you say the Genesis, it's hard to not think about almost like this trilogy, this holy trilogy of Golden Axe, Streets of Rage 2, and The Revenge of Shinobi, at least for me. So that's where we're going next.
This sounds awesome. I know Dazpick is he's beside himself right now. He's just probably so happy.
Yeah. It's faux Spider-Man, faux Batman, faux Godzilla.
Man, YouTube the algorithm's not going to like this one. But I just playing it, a little bit this week, previewing it, just to make sure I felt, that I was sure in my decision. I will say it is very challenging. So I think we should definitely see who comes out on top, next week, because whoever can get the farthest, I think, deserves the praise of the other two. So
there's a lot
the
of
title of Shinobi.
There's a lot of precise jumps in that game.
I mean, yeah, the bosses are super difficult, precise jumping, knowing when to use your, magic. Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very high skill game.
Like one toe on the platform jumping.
Yep, you're counting pixels.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So I guess stay tuned next week to see how this goes. See if any of us manage to beat this game or decide to hate this game.
Never hate it. I'll take that pain.
So until then, this is Jones along with Dazpick and Gohan signing out.